Saudi Arabia edges closer to a high-stakes defense pact with the Trump administration, echoing last month's US-Qatar deal. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman heads to Washington next month, seeking deep military and intelligence guarantees. Amid rising regional tensions, fractured trust, and a race to secure US protection in a volatile Middle East. Saudi Arabia is in advanced discussions with the Trump administration over a sweeping defense agreement modeled on Washington's recent security pact with Qatar, which pledged to treat any attack on Doha as a threat to US peace and security. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, as per Financial Times, is expected to visit the White House next month, with hopes of sealing a robust accord that would deepen military and intelligence cooperation between the two nations, according to people familiar with the matter. A senior Trump administration official confirmed that
there are discussions about signing something when the Crown Prince comes, but the details are in flux.
However, the White House and State Department have not elaborated on the deal. The State Department described defense ties with Riyadh as a strong bedrock of our regional strategy, reaffirming Washington's commitment to Gulf security and counter-terrorism efforts. Prince Mohammed's visit will follow President Donald Trump's executive order pledging to defend Qatar after Israeli missile strikes in Doha last month targeted Hamas leaders. The strikes sent shockwaves through Gulf capitals, reviving fears over regional instability and questions about Washington's reliability as a security guarantor. Saudi Arabia has long sought a formal US defense pact. Earlier negotiations with the Biden administration, which tied such an agreement to Riyadh's potential normalisation with Israel, collapsed following Hamas's 7 October 2023 attack and the ensuing Gaza war. Prince Mohammed, who has accused Israel of committing genocide in Gaza, has maintained that recognition of Israel hinges on the creation of a Palestinian state, a position fiercely opposed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Talks with the Trump administration now focus on a standalone defense framework, which could take the form of an executive order or treaty. Analysts told the Financial Times that they expect a deal much more robust than what already exists, with enhanced security assurances as the kingdom advances its trillion-dollar domestic development projects. Yet Trump's push for Saudi-Israeli normalization remains a potential obstacle. Hussein Ibish of the Arab Gulf States Institute said,
"That doesn't mean we can't get past it, because all Trump has to do is decide it's a good idea. But we're not there yet."
Prince Mohammed's upcoming trip marks his first US visit since 2018. It follows the White House's announcement of a record $142 billion arms package for Riyadh, encompassing air, missile, and maritime defense systems. Amid concerns over America's long-term commitment, particularly after Washington's muted response to the 2019 Iranian strikes on Saudi oil facilities, Riyadh last month signed a strategic mutual defense pact with Pakistan, signaling its intent to diversify alliances while reinforcing its reliance on US security guarantees. Saudi Arabia and the United States maintain one of the most robust defense and security partnerships in the world, marked by extensive arms sales, training cooperation, and strategic defense initiatives. In 2025, this partnership deepened further through several landmark agreements and joint programs. In May 2025, during his visit to Saudi Arabia, Trump's administration finalized the largest US defense cooperation agreement in history, worth approximately $142 billion in arms sales to Saudi Arabia. The package includes advanced air and missile defense systems, new Air Force and space capabilities, maritime security enhancements, and communication and command upgrades. It involves over a dozen US defense firms, including Lockheed Martin, Boeing, RTX, and Northrop Grumman. The deal forms part of a wider $600 billion US-Saudi investment package, which also covers technological, aerospace and energy cooperation. As part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, defense cooperation with the US supports Riyadh's goal of building a localized, self-sustaining defense industry. The 2025 Saudi-US Investment Forum saw 145 agreements totaling $300 billion, linking innovation, defense technology, and industrial collaboration. The US has more than $129 billion in active foreign military sales cases with Saudi Arabia, the largest of any American ally. These initiatives aim to integrate American defense technology with Saudi industrial capabilities and expand cooperation in aerospace, AI, and digital infrastructure. Companies like Sikorsky, a Lockheed Martin subsidiary, are helping to establish a local helicopter manufacturing line capable of producing up to 150 Black Hawk helicopters domestically. Meanwhile, Raytheon and Garmi have launched cooperative programs to train Saudi technicians in the repair, testing, and operation of Patriot systems. These programs directly support local workforce development and industrial self-sufficiency goals. The two nations also conduct frequent joint military exercises to strengthen interoperability and regional readiness. In early 2025, the Friendship 25 exercise, held in northern Saudi Arabia, brought together US Army forces and the Royal Saudi Land Forces to train in command, control, and battlefield operations under complex conditions. Another multinational drill, Spears of Victory 2025, hosted by Saudi Arabia in January-February 2025, featured participation from the US and 14 other nations, focusing on electronic and aerial warfare. In August 2025, Saudi Arabia officially joined the US Department of Defense State Partnership Program, SPP. This trilateral partnership links Saudi forces with the Indiana and Oklahoma National Guards, aiming to deepen training, exchanges, and long-term security coordination. The program enhances the capabilities of Saudi armed forces and strengthens counter-terrorism and defensive interoperability frameworks. Meanwhile, the Houthis earlier this week urged Saudi Arabia to embrace peace and end aggression and blockade. Speaking on the anniversary of the 14th October Revolution, which began in 1963 against British colonial rule in South Yemen, Mahdi al-Mashat, head of the movement's Supreme Political Council, said,
"We call on Saudi Arabia to move from the de-escalation phase to ending the aggression, the siege, and the occupation, and to implement the clear requirements for peace. It would be the closest solution to preventing those who profit from wars among our peoples to serve the Israeli entity."
He further accused the United States of exploiting regional sensitivities to serve the interests of the Israeli enemy. He also made it very clear that they will keep fighting till their country is liberated from every kind of occupation.